So amazingly, dear one, we see that he's made it very simple for us. It's not a case of indecision. We keep the rules unless we just can't. Perhaps the pain's too severe for you, or the suffering. Well, okay, in that extreme situation, he understands. But to the extent that you know God, well, you can keep the childish rules. Just in case your wisdom is not quite equal to his yet. I mean, it's possible, isn't it? Let us say in all humility. So we keep the rules. And if you can't, well, of course he understands. The mum runs to child's rescue. He's crying. Oh, what can I do? How much more our Heavenly Dad loves and cares for us. He's a wonderful Dad. Perhaps that's why we love him. But perhaps we love him anyway because we're children of God. He's put it in us, the hope of glory, by his loving kindness. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. So yes, you could say it's self-interest that motivated me to not go to the UK. That's right. God's given me self-interest. He's given me wisdom too, and caution in the wisdom. Thank God, because I'm a child. After all, I could be wrong in my reasoning. Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. You know, Satan says to Jesus in the story, throw yourself down because you know the angels will rescue. And you know this, I think the inference might be this spectacular feat might get all the followers you want when they realize your miraculous powers. And Jesus resists. Don't tempt God. It's not the way to go. In what sense is the Samaritan good? He doesn't give his life to the chap he's rescuing. He stops. He takes some risk. He doesn't just ignore the need. You see, his self extends greater than a narrow cell. But he's not giving his life to the man to rescue him. He goes on his way, leaves enough cash with the innkeeper to look after him, the hospitalising, if you like, and goes on his way. Because he has a life to live. In our sense, a devotion to God. We do care about those around us. We give to him that asks. To him that cries out in desperate need, we come to the rescue of. If we reasonably can. But we are given self-interest, and it is there to protect us whilst we are ignorant children. And it is wise to therefore be cautious. Got it? But when you know God fully, and you have the assurance of such, well, you're not under law. In that sense, as perhaps Paul says, but under grace. But we don't tempt God. We trust. That's not the same as acting as if we know. We're pretty sure we don't know. We just trust him. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Look how hindsight's very good, isn't it? I don't mean perfect, but I mean, it seems so clear in hindsight, doesn't it? I mean, I didn't need to leave home to be loyal to Mum. I could have been loyal to Mum, done all I could, and had the security of home still with Dad. But of course, in my childish way, I recklessly abandoned my self-interest and devoted myself to Mum. And, well, it was a situation that couldn't be handled. And in the end, I dumped her on her Mum. And God rescued me in the work situation and in accommodation and so on, by His grace and kindness. But I didn't need to have all this storm for myself. I could have just weathered it with Dad. You know, it seemed very noble not doing so, but it wasn't necessary. There was no need to harm my situation to help Mum. It didn't help Mum. God had in mind for Mum what He had in mind. And you could say the same for me, and did it that way. Yes, He did do it that way, because I initiated something in some sense, and therefore needed it to be done the way it was done. But there was no need. Had I have known God, I could have simply said, well, you don't disown either parent. God's given you them as parents, and if there's a need to, truly so, well, okay, but there actually wasn't in hindsight. I could have stayed with Dad. He would have made the best of it in a sense, in as far as he could, given who he was. And I could have probably helped Mum far more in that situation. I didn't see that. But if I'd kept the simple rules of self-interest, I could have found out. He wasn't asking me to disown Mum. In fairness, I don't think she was asking me to disown Dad. She just assumed that loyalty would mean that, I think. Perhaps she didn't. Perhaps she just got so confused and desperate. Rational thought didn't come into it too much. Just desperate thought. And so I was moved with concern and compassion for Mum and loyalty. Okay. Well, that was good in its way. But it would have been better to have known God and to have put His rules first and to have recognized He's given me self-interest. Hold to it. But know God. And that will modify the self-interest so that, yes, the Samaritan does stop. There is a risk. But the chap on the side of the road's in dire straits. I think I can come to his rescue, okay? they've taken from him whatever they wanted. They may have waited to get another one like myself, but, well, they get me further down the road anyway in that case. I don't see that I've complicated it by helping this chap, and I want to. So he did. And what should the chap who's rescued do in this circumstance? Love the one that rescued him, the Samaritan, as he loves his very self. But of course, as an enlightened being, that would mean that he wants the Samaritan to have life eternal too. So that's what we want. For those in desperate need and cry out, or would cry out if they possibly could, we give to them that ask in that situation, definitely. Unless it risks our self-interest too much, respect such. In the trust of God. And if your trust is truly that you can risk all, well, okay, you'll do it. But don't do it if your trust is not up to that yet. So I decided to stay in the UK. To stay in New Zealand, not go to the UK. I've still got my feet on the ground in this world. God hasn't taken me out of it yet. Yes, I am sent. Why am I sent? Well, because it's in my interest, I know that. He doesn't need me to be sent. So I'm sent, and it is in my self-interest. And I do try and keep the rules. And if I don't, well, yes, I do have the assurance of his loving kindness. But it's all in uncertainty. That's the reality of being in this world. And for a very good reason, that we may continue to receive the lessons until we no longer need it. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad.